Man vs Machine, otherwise known as MVM, is TF2's unique, fun PvE game mode which sees the mercenaries not destroying each other, but instead destroying hordes of incoming, money-fueled robots. Whether you're playing for the challenge of beating difficult missions, enjoying the nice cooperative environment, or are grinding out tours to high-roll some rare and expensive items, MVM has something for every TF2 player. For us, however, MVM is where all of our free time will be sucked away as we try to get TF2's most time-consuming achievements, Metal Massacre and T-1000000. In this video, we're going to be going over the various MVM achievements and devising a game plan to achieve them, as well as how we're going to be grinding out Metal Massacre and T-1000000 as quickly as possible. In the previous video, I went over all the map-specific achievements for MVM, but I just wanted to go over them here in more depth, just so we can explain some of the strategies we're going to be doing to achieve them. Firstly, for Manhattan, we have the following. Chipping in and now legal to eat both require you sending bots into this pit by either pushing them or making them slip on the banana peel. This is pretty easy to do as Pyro, but it does require that you've either lost the first gate or have bots running past your team and running past that pit. You can also use Air Blast to force bots all the way over to the pit from spawn, but that's a surefire way of wasting a bunch of time for little to no outcome. You might as well just wait for the bots to go by there naturally. It'll happen eventually. Get Off My Lawn just requires a good team to hold back the bots in the first area. Software Downgrade's going to be a little weird to get because it kind of requires you to lose, but in an optimal way. You need to be losing the gates at a time where there's lots of bots around to be killed, so you need to be waiting for large waves of enemies and then lose the gates so that you can go around and kill them. Basically, that's going to be the game plan. If we have a large wave coming in and we're already kind of losing, might as well let them capture the gate and then go around and kill everybody to try and get this achievement. Urban Strike is a progressive achievement, so it'll be pretty easy to get. It'll just take a lot of time playing on the map and killing bots getting to the gate. Theoretically, you could also try and get this one faster by letting robots through to the gate and then killing them, but you might as well just get it naturally from playing the game. The next map we have is Rottenburg. A Bygone Century is basically the same as Chipping In. You just need to have lost the first area and have bots going by the pit in this area, and then just push them in as Pyro. Crasher Crusher is just like Get Off My Lawn for Manhattan. We just need a good team to hold back people at the first gate. Perhaps, to steal an idea from another famous TF2er, I could form some sort of achievement acquisition squad, a team of elite gamers and dedicated achievers to work together to get these achievements. Oh, but Overachiever, doesn't this count as team stacking to get achievements, which you said you wouldn't do? Very good observation there, commenter. Well, now you see...
Commenter. I'm Overachiever.
And I can do whatever the heck I want.
No, but the real reason I'm not going to count this as server stacking is because we do need to get the Brotherhood of Steel achievement eventually, so we might as well try and get other achievements while we play together. Palisade is pretty easy if your team knows how to kill tanks efficiently, aka all swapping to Flog Pyro and buying crit canteens and aiming them at this specific angle because for some reason it does more damage. I don't know why, it's some source spaghetti code as always. As for the last map specific achievement, it just requires you playing once on each of the following maps you see on screen. We'll just get this achievement naturally from playing MVM a lot. Now, just like the last video, we're going to go over the mercenary specific achievements, but unlike regular TF2, there isn't nearly as many class specific ones, so this is just going to be a breeze and I'm just going to go through them super quick. Do androids dream? I mean, it's more the Sandman. Oh, I mean, that's terrific. I have so much practice using it already. I mean, it's not like I wanted to break from it or anything. It's not like it's not optimal to use an MVM and you want to be using the Fan of War. I mean, I don't care. That's okay, that's whatever, I don't care, it's fine. Dazed and Diffused. Can you hit direct rockets? Then you're all good. You can use the direct hit or the Liberty Launcher to get faster rockets to hit the shots easier, but honestly, it's fine, you'll get this one if you're at least half decent at playing Soldier. Robot Flush. For this one, we just don't use any rocket launcher with a reduced blast radius like the direct hit, airstrike, or Beggar's Bazooka, as we want the maximum blast radius. Just shoot into a crowd of like scouts or something, pretty easy. Turbocharger. The banner is super easy to charge in MVM, and most of the time your teammates are all sticking in one place, so buffing 4 of them isn't particularly difficult. This will be pretty easy to get. Hard reset will just require us not using the flog and making sure we play on maps with pits like Manhattan or Rottenburg. We'll probably just get these achievements naturally whilst trying to go for Bygone Century and chipping in. Tech Wrecker will be pretty easy to get if we use the Scottish Resistance in a crit canteen and spread our bombs all along the spawn area. Bots will just walk into them, we'll blow them up, easy peasy, should be able to do it in one. Heavy metal is going to be a bit weird to get because you kind of need to be losing quite badly for it to come up. I'm sure it'll come up naturally from playing the game, but we can also force it to happen by purposefully letting the robots go by. Real Steel. This is something you do literally every game as engineer. You'll get this in your very first game, easily. Undelete is pretty much the same deal. If your sentry gets destroyed, you're pretty much going to be slapping another one down and rebuilding it using the canteen instantly. It's going to happen probably in your first couple of games, if not the very first one you do. Vial sharing is a little bit strange because you can only have 3 canteens at a time, so you need to be walking back to spawn and rebuying more and then going back out. It's not difficult, you can do it pretty much any time, it's just annoying to do. Wall of Pain. This one should be easy on waves with a large number of heavies or soldiers. We can make sure we have high resistances so that we stay alive for long enough to build the shield over and over again to block that 5,000 damage we need to do. Reanimator 2. We basically just need to keep our eyes out for if 2 teammates die at the same time whilst we have Uber. It'll be pretty easy to achieve as this happens on a somewhat regular basis when you're playing Medic. Spark Plugger basically requires you to max out explosive headshot on your rifle, and Bank on it just requires you to be playing without a scout on your team stealing all the money you get from the kills you get. Sly Voltage just requires you to sap a large group of bots, which is pretty easy. If you save your sapper for groups instead of the large bots like you should be, you can just do this one pretty much in your first try. All done. Nice and easy as I said it would be. I'm not going over any of the mercenaries' loadouts just yet, as I'll save them for individual videos about each of them and their tactics in MVM. But now that we're done addressing all the fun little MVM achievements, we need to get into the meat of this video. How we're going to be optimizing our progress towards Metal Massacre and T1000000. To figure out which missions and mercenaries are the most efficient to make progress on MM and T1000000, I've been gathering data from all the matches I've played in MVM. Specifically, I'm recording the mercenary I played, the number of bots I killed, the number of credits I collected, the time played, whether we successfully completed the mission or failed, and notes on the lobby's conditions such as lag levels, team composition, and class difficulties. I'm going to require far more data to come to any actual conclusions on which mercenary or mission is the best, but right now I can show you some of my preliminary research I conducted and my hypothesis on which map and mercenary will actually be the most efficient in both bot killing or credit collecting.
Feel like a brick struck, looking like I'm T-Dog, shining like your wristwatch. I'm gonna grab your wrist, lock it down to the thing pop.
Right off the bat, we can rule out 2 of the mercenaries as being possible contenders for being the most efficient at MM and T1000000. Medic will not be out gathering credits or getting kills at all, as they're just a backline healer class. His shield can do some serious damage and wipe out large groups of enemies, but it's nowhere near enough to keep up with the other mercenaries. Along the same lines, Spy won't be able to get the volume of kills necessary to grind out Metal Massacre, as he's more of a single target pick class. Sniper would be in the same boat, if not more so, if it wasn't for his ability to do explosive headshots and collect drop money from bots killed by his rifle. As for the other mercenaries, they all have the potential of either getting lots of kills or collecting lots of credits. This leaves us with 7 mercenaries to gather data for, which narrows down the scope of the research needed to be conducted. My hypothesis on which mercenary will be the most efficient currently is the Sniper, as he has the previously mentioned abilities which allow him to both gain decent money and a high number of kills at the same time. Because missions have far more credits than they have bots to kill, the most efficient class will be the one that gets the highest number of kills whilst either matching or exceeding that quantity in cash collected. If they don't, then you'll find yourself having to play more games to make up the slack. Other damage classes like Heavy and Demo could also get high kills, but really lack any way to gain money without putting themselves in danger or having it stolen by the scout. This is why I suspect they won't be able to match their kills with their cash, unlike the Sniper. However, we do need to consider the possibility that the best way to gain MM and T1000000 may not be through a single most efficient mercenary, but instead splitting duty between the best bot killer and the best moneymaker. The obvious and irrefutable best moneymaker is the Scout. They literally suck up money like a vacuum. His core unique class ability is to literally gain health from money. No way that any other class gathers more money than him. However, for kills, we have a different story. Currently, I don't think I have a definitive selection for best bot killer, but from my personal experience, I think Engineer may be up there, as his sentry is the one often mowing down hordes of robots whilst other players focus on priority targets. I can also see Heavy possibly being a contender in this category, but they also have to focus a lot on the bigger robots, which reduces their time killing higher quantities of robots. There is also potentially a third option, but it does require a forbidden, unholy item. This forbidden class unlock was conjured from the hell pits of Hell Tower itself. Or from your local servo. It's the Pyro's gas passer. Yeah, this thing's completely broken with the Explode on Ignite upgrade, and many MVM players will not play with you if you use it. If you use this forbidden item, you will be invalidating the contributions of many other mercenaries. Oh, we need a demo to do a sticky trap to do spike damage to medic bots? Oh, just have the Pyro throw the gas passer at them. Oh, we need an engineer to clear out a large number of robots? Oh, just gas passer them. Oh, we need a heavy to block a super scout whilst also doing massive damage? Just have the Pyro air blast them and then throw the gas passer at them. We will need to consider potentially harnessing this unholy power to achieve MVM and T1000000, because honestly, we need any one-up we can get. But selling our soul to the devil may prove more harmful than beneficial in the long term. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
What the hell is this?
My hypothesis is that the best mission will be simply the one with the most bots per minute, because as I've said previously, there are far more credits than bots in any given mission, so optimizing the number of bots we can kill is all that matters, as long as we can match that number in credits. With this being said, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Caligula's Caper. It has a huge number of bots as it's a special challenge Halloween mission, and because we're looking at bots per minute, the lack of downtime Caligula's Caper has between waves, because the mission is only one massive wave, means that we get to save a lot of time overall, which would be wasted waiting for players to press F4 and wait for the wave to start. If another mission ends up being better in terms of bots per minute, I will honestly be shocked. However, just in case, I had a look for some statistics on how many bots are on each mission, just to confirm that Caligula's Caper will seem to be the best. I took this mission data from the TF2 wiki, shout out to the guys and gals who work on that site, added up all the numbers and compiled it onto the tables you see on screen now. Overall, the mission with the most bots is actually Empire Escalation with 1,786, with Caligula's Caper actually having the 8th most bots with 1,285. Actually, funnily enough, all of Manhattan's missions have more bots than Caligula's Caper, and both Big Rock and Rottenberg have 2 of their missions that have more bots as well. Considering that these missions, from my experience, seem to take a similar amount of time to complete as Caligula's Caper, this may mean that that mission may actually not be the most efficient. For bots per wave, things change around a little. Caligula's Caper takes the top spot unsurprisingly, with Empire Escalation coming in at 2nd place. Interestingly enough, all of Manhattan's missions take up the top 2 through 4 slots for this category. The mission with the most credits is Caligula's Caper, with Broken Parts coming in at a very close 2nd. For credits per wave, Caligula's Caper is still on top, with Mech Mutilations, funnily enough, coming out 2nd. This is probably due to the mission only having 3 waves, skewing the data much like Caligula's Caper does, but who knows, it might be something to consider. Looking at these tables, the best missions seem to be Caligula's Caper and Empire Escalation, with Caligula's Caper having the 8th most bot kills, the most credits, the most bots per wave, and the most credits per wave, and Empire Escalation having the most bots, the 3rd most credits, the 2nd most bots per wave, and the 3rd most credits per wave. The deciding factor on which mission will be the most efficient will definitely be bots per minute, as these missions both having high bot counts mean nothing if they take ages and ages and ages to complete. Unfortunately, we're going to require a lot more data before we can go over each mission's BPM. Once I do have enough data, however, I will make a video about it, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. Also, just to be a little bit extra, here are the best MVM tours to do in terms of both bots and credits. So if we decide to grind out any tours to try and get some sick items or something, we'll be doing 2 cities, which, funnily enough, is actually the most popular tour to do. But anyway, that does it for my hypotheses. Now all that needs to be done is to actually play the game, gather some data, and get some achievements. Speaking of which, actually...
He ruined my
Achievement log.
I did not! Mr. Electric
Kick him from the game.
has him.
Banned.
Between episode 1 and now, I've done nothing but play MVM, and because of this, I've only gained MVM achievements. Well, mostly. I'm not sure why Riftwalker is achievable in MVM. But anyway, I've gained the following achievements you see on screen. Here's a compilation of me gaining all those achievements. Here's our current progress on the challenge so far. We've gotten 44.9% of the MVM achievements, 2.13 of the general achievements, and 4.42 of the total achievements. We seem to be making decent progress so far, I mean, at least in MVM, but it is just a start. I mean, there's nowhere to go but up. For the key achievements we've earned, I'd say the map-specific ones, Engine Block, Palisade, and Crasher Crusher were the most noteworthy. Now as for key progress we've made, we can have a look at MM and T1000000. We've got 0.35% of MM and 3.21% of T1000000. I mean, that's good. That's something, right? That's, you know, yeah. Okay, maybe we do need that leg up that I mentioned before. Now, how do I make a deal with the devil? I'm gonna have to go and look into that. Hopefully you'll all see the outcome of the deal in the next video when we finally actually start playing some normal average TF2. Goodbye!